Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you, everyone. Moving on to the next program, I would like to call upon Dr. Triveni for introducing our first scientific speaker, Padma Shri Vaidya Balendra Prakash sir. Handing over the stage to you, ma'am.
I welcome Dr. Vidya Balendu Prakash sir, and he is a founder and visionary Padhav Specialty Ayurvedic treatment. Dr. Vidya Balendu Prakash is the founder and the visionary behind the Padhav Specialty Ayurvedic Treatment Center, renowned for his underground breaking contributions to Ayurveda. A recipient of the prestigious Padma Shri in 1999, he is a pioneer of Ras Shastra and Ayurveda, recognized for his knack of science and his dedication to bring dedication to bringing the stated efficacy of Ayurvedic treatment protocols into mainstream medicine. In 1989, he moved his base to Dehradun and founded Vidya Chandra Prakash Cancer Research Foundation for Ayurvedic research. His treatment protocols have been subjected to studies in International Journal of Interdisciplinary and Multidisciplinary Studies in 2014. He has established several articles in alternative medicine research journals and his findings, covering the treatment of cancer and the other diseases. He is a former member of the Scientific Advisory Committee of Central Council for Research in Ayurveda and Siddha, and served as the honorary physician to the President of India from 1997 to 2000. He has sat in the Central Council of Indian Medicine and headed the clinical research units of Regional Cancer Center, Thiruvananthapuram, and Sri Dhanvantri Ayurvedic College and Hospital, Chandigarh, during the late 1990s and early 2000s. He is a member of the Research Advisory Committee of the Herbal Research Development Institute, Gopeshwar, from Uttarakhand, and the Advisory Committee of the Council Cancer Control Program of the Ministry of the Health and Family Welfare. He is also a member of the Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani Drugs Technical Advisory Board of the Ministry of Ayush and International Headache Society, UK, and a life member of the Indian Cooperative Oncology Network. He is the recipient of several awards and honors such as Uttarakhand Gaurav, Doon Ratna, Ayurveda Chandrodaya, Parnacharya Vidya Ratanam, National Citizen Award, and the Pride of Doon. The Government of India awarded him the civilian honor of the Padma Shri in 1999. With endless allocates, numerous publications, and decades of experience, Vaidya Balendu Prakash has developed several standardized treatment protocols that have transformed the practice of Ayurveda. As one of the first in the world to advocate for evidence-based Ayurveda, he has successfully bridged the gap between the traditional wisdom and the contemporary health, making Ayurveda accessible, credible, and impactful. His legacy as thought leader and innovator continues to inspire generations of Ayurvedic practitioners and researchers, cementing his place as a pioneer in advancing holistic healthcare solutions. So next we have another prominent doctor, So I request Dr. Vaidya sir to come on the stage. So sir will address the audience now. Yes, sir. Thank you.
No, who will run this? Okay. Huh? In the laptop. So when I say next, you will do it. Okay. Good afternoon to all. First of all, I am thankful to the organizers of this International Ayush Meet and this holy place set up by respected Swamiji and respected trustees, international delegates. And I have a special thanks to Dr. Viresh, who is the present dean of this institute, for inviting me today to share my experience, which is based on my clinical practice, and then learned faculty of this institute, non-teaching people, and students. As what's your name? Triveni. As Triveni rightly said about me, that I might be a pioneer of evidence-based Ayurvedic treatment, but it is not true. When I read Ayurveda, in the first year, there was a chapter called Padarth Vigyan, book Padarth Vigyan, and it says Dravya, Yat Karma Guna Samvayat Tad Dravyam. And there, I came with the word Pramana. Pramana means evidence. And there are 4 types of Pramana which are mentioned in Ayurvedic Darshan. Pratyaksh Pramana, Anuman Pramana, Aptopadesh, and Yukti Pramana. So Pramana is not which I am advocating. It is well taught to us in Ayurvedic text. But we should not only learn to get degree, we have to put it into the practice. So I tried my level best. So whatever I do in my life, I do with evidences. That is called Pramana. So today I am going to speak Today I'm going to speak about a disease which is not a disease of ancient world. The first reference of pancreatitis comes in 16th century in the West, and then I will take it further. So this disease is not described in Ayurvedic text, so it will be very difficult for me to explain you what is it in Ayurveda. But incidentally, we found a cure for it through Ayurveda. So that's why it is called Ayurvedic treatment for pancreatitis. As the word speaks for itself, pancreatitis. So titis means inflammation, and inflammation in the pancreas. So what is special? There are many titis, osteoarthritis, dermatitis. But what is special about pancreatitis? Once there is a patient of pancreatitis, that means it is a progressive disease. It will continue. And whatever happens, it never goes back, irreversible. So, what's wrong? It is irreversible and progressive. That means disease will continue to progress. And as I said, it is not mentioned in Ayurvedic text, but Ayurveda is a broad science. I will not say it was not mentioned. It might be mentioned under Udar Rog because it is inside the Udar, in the abdomen. But this is the disease of the modern era. The disease was incidentally found in 1652 in Brazil when an anatomist during the postmortem of a body found some calcification in the pancreas. So the world came to know about pancreatitis in 1652. India reported first case in 1937, and today the number of disease has gone up, and though India got the disease in 1937, but today when we are talking about it, India has the highest incidences of pancreatitis in the world. Broadly, the disease is confined to acute and chronic pancreatitis, and it is not that a patient who is having disease for 10 years will have chronic and who is just diagnosed with acute. A patient may have acute even after 5 years of diagnosis, and chronic, it can be from the day one. So if there is a structural changes in pancreas, then it is called chronic pancreatitis. Otherwise, it remains acute. But whatever pancreatitis is there, acute or chronic, it is further progress to that. And it starts. Today I met a boy here who is an Ayurvedic student in some Ayurvedic college. He was brought to the dean office, and he said in 2023, he all of a sudden faced pain in the epigastric region and radiating to back with vomiting, and it was unbearable. And it is so unbearable that it cannot be treated without the use of painkillers and IV fluid. So sudden onset of the disease is there, and sometimes there is no pain. The patient may feel unexpected weight loss, fat in the stool, or uncontrolled blood sugar. These can be the symptoms in that, but in 90% case, it is the pain. The disease has no cause, but the Western world says Tigaro factors. Tigaro means toxins, idiopathic, genetic, obstruction, recurrent pancreatitis. These are the things. But alcohol is considered as the main cause of pancreatitis in the world. Management, when there is no cure, the treatment is restricted to the management of the symptom by IV fluid and painkillers and lifelong enzymes. Usually, Ayurvedic people are famous for dietary restrictions. You put so many dietary restrictions. But here in this disease, if a patient is with pancreatitis and go to the allopathic hospital, no milk, no dairy, no paneer, no egg, no chicken, no fat, they stop everything in this patient. But in spite of that, nearly 50% patient of pancreatitis lead to pancreatic cancer, and in a country like United States, 55% patients die within 20 years of the diagnosis. Now I come to this Ayurvedic management of pancreatitis. So this is based on Rasa Shastra. I practice Rasa Shastra. Though I am a graduate in Ayurveda, but I learned the basic techniques of Rasa Shastra from my father, late Vaidya Prakash, who was in Meerut in UP and used to make his own medicine and treat the patient. So in 1970, he started a formulation taking mercury, copper and sulfur, and he started processing following the concept of Gandhak Jarana, and then this medicine, when it was ready after 2 or 3 years, it was given by chance or by force to a patient who was a dying patient of cancer pancreas, and he showed wonderful recovery. I was in 9th class that time. I was seeing, and that was my observation, how come a patient who was on a deathbed could survive with that medicine. So my father passed away in 1984, but from that time, 1972 onwards till 1997, it was the empirical data which I was seeing. I was observing that the patient who have been diagnosed with pancreatic disorder, and when I grew up, doing my BSc, during my BMS, so doctor said it might be pancreatitis, it might not be cancer. Then I came to know that pancreatitis is not curable. So we focus more on pancreatitis because in pancreatic cancer, out of 4, 1 patient was surviving, but in pancreatitis, everybody was surviving. From 97, we started documenting our practice. So initially, word of mouth, 1 case. The first case which I am referring here, it was a 17-year-old boy who had 9 attacks in 1 year. He was being treated by one of the top gastroenterologists who is presently director of ILBS Delhi. He referred this case to me because he was working one of my medicines that time. And since then, this boy is disease-free, symptom-free, and treatment-free. So we treat a patient and we document forever. So he is still in our touch. And since then, 1 case, 2 cases. In 1999, I got a specialty unit in RCC Trivandrum, and where we had 2 years, 9 cases, and then one by one it was coming. But in 2014, we did a seminar, public seminar. We presented 48 cases, and after that, with the endorsement of some people and the news on the social media, especially testimonial, we started getting 250 to 300 patients in a year in our tiny facility in Uttarakhand. And initially I said it was acute and chronic, but based on the nature of the disease, today we have more than 21 types of pancreatitis, and none of the patient is diagnosed by me. They are diagnosed by the top hospitals of the country. The maximum patient come from Asian Institute of Gastroenterology, then Medanta Hospital, then All India Institute, Gangaram, like that. So these are the different type of pancreatitis. And out of these, hereditary pancreatitis, which you say number 97, it is the worst form of pancreatitis where death is imminent into that. This slide is something very different to the available information on the Google or on the ResearchGate. All over the literature says that disease is mostly prevailed in South India. But whenever we evaluated our data, analyzed our data, we found that UP tops. Many people say since you are from UP that we get maximum from UP, but you can see the second number is Maharashtra, third is Gujarat, which is far away from our place, and Karnataka stands at number 5. We have these patients all over from Karnataka to our place, so disease is scattered all over India. This slide also talks about demography. Recently, it has been published in a good journal, Changing Demography of Pancreatitis Patient. It is said that alcohol is the cause, but here 67% are those who never took alcohol in their life, but they had pancreatitis. And if we delete those who never bought alcohol in their life, 20% are those who took alcohol, but they never bought. वो free की मिलती थी तो पीते थे. But only 5% were those. Why it is running so fast? So here, there is a myth that alcohol is the cause. We found non-alcoholic has more number of that. So it doesn't mean that I am advocating alcohol, but I am saying that we have to look beyond alcohol theory. Similarly, non-tobacco had more incidences. Veg or non-veg, not much difference. And they say genetic, but only 5% has genetic disposition. And gallstone is considered as, out of these only 5% patient had the history of gallbladder. Ayurvedic treatment. Ayurveda is based on 3 concepts, ahar, vihar and aushadhi. So treatment is based on diet, lifestyle and medicine. In modern medicine, whatever they stop, like milk, butter, protein, we start our first dose with malai, upper skin of the milk, which is given, and we stop all allopathic medicine during this treatment, no enzymes, and this treatment is given. Main medicine is Amar, which I will explain you later, and with that, Prac 20 is a modified Pranava Mandur, Kamdudaras, for symptomatic and supportive relief. And then 3 meals, 3 snacks, about 2,000 calories, and if the patients are deficient in B12 and D3, they are giving supplements accordingly. And if they have diabetes and blood pressure or thyroid, that is managed by modern medicine. And here, this is a slide which talks about impact of Ayurvedic treatment. Here you see 2 figures. One figure says 3259. So this patient, out of 2,152, 1,116 patients have completed 1 year treatment. And they, before Ayurvedic treatment, their number of emergency attack was 3,259. But after 1 year of treatment, you can see the significant reduction by 90% more. It was only 245. From 3,000 to 200, it was a big significance. And secondly, emergency hospitalization has come down to 93%. And this is the unique finding of this study, is highly significant impact. And we have presented our work in American Pancreatic Association and Japan Pancreas Society meet in Hawaii, where we were the only non-allopathic person in the world out of 700 delegates, and where we found that you are enriched with content and the quantity. Many times it is believed that Ayurveda doesn't work in emergency. So friends, when there is an attack of pancreatitis, amylase and lipase goes in thousands. And here what we see, that is start coming down within first 10 days of the treatment. And treatment, when allopathy does not allow in water, we are giving it malai with butter, with everything. So here, there is a significant reduction of amylase lipase in first 10 days of the treatment. Pancreatitis converts into pancreatic cancer, and there is a marker, CA 19.9. Normal value is 37, and it is said when it is more than 300, it is going towards cancer. And what we could see, that CA 19 point not only stops, it reverts back, and it starts happening within first 10 days of the treatment. That is CA 19.9, and we have seen reversal of CA 19.9 from 10,000 to normal. This is again an astonishing finding of this study. Treatment is done. Many people say, we can cure this disease, we can do this. But if you ask for long-term follow-up, nobody has it. So long-term follow-up is the biggest weakness of Ayurveda. Here, when I'm standing with you, I'm sharing the 28 years ongoing follow-up. The patient who was treated in 97 is still alive. So we can say sustainable, and this is the definition of Ayurveda. Ayurveda should not be able to cure the disease. The disease ka purnavarti bhi hona chahiye. There should be no relapse. So whatever we are treating, 98% patients are cured forever. And this is the overall data. We found that pancreatitis killed nearly 92% patients in first 10 years in India. Our death rate is 2%, from 92 to 2%, and more than 50% have achieved complete remission. There is a one category who came to us, they took treatment but never started. So our data is so transparent. Each and every patient has a file, they can be reached. So we say how many failures, how many died, how many did not respond. Everything is there. But overall, we can say we have significant success in bringing down complete and sustainable relief to pancreatitis patient. Progression. Progression is measured if the disease is progressing. That means in the image. And we found none of the patient is showing progression after undergoing Ayurvedic treatment. It is done by US, by MRCP, by US, whatever they have done before. And this slide, which is only one so far, genetic mutation, because there is a cases who get genetic mutation, but one case recently reported that it is reversing, but it is a first case. I will not emphasize more. We are going to repeat it more and more in the patients. So this is one thing what we are doing. We are treating patient, we are documenting, but what beyond that? We added some science. And for this, we started working in Bangalore with Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. So we started with copper and mercury. This blue color and red color is of mercury. But after grinding and heating, it is called psyching, putra. We can see after 32 puts, this red and green color has gone because there is no mercury, no copper in free form. It has converted into mineral form. And after 100 times, you can see there are 5 or 6 peaks which has been burned. So Ayurvedic Bhasmikaran is able to convert metal into mineral form. I think this is the great chemistry developed by our great masters in first century, Bhasmikaran, because the conversion of metals into mineral form, this is the unique feature of Ras Shastra. And this is the final formula. We applied for patent in 2014, and we got this patent last year. And I am very happy to say that is the first ever patent of India and the second patent of the world in the treatment of pancreatitis. Usually, Ayurvedic medicines are considered to be toxic. These medicines have gone into acute, subacute, chronic toxicity following OECD guidelines, and in all the studies, no adverse effect has been seen into that. Treatment is absolutely safe. Some people say, if you are removing the pain of the pancreatitis patient, maybe you are paralyzing the nerves. That's why they're not feeling. So that's why 2 models were developed in animals by giving allergen, and they were developed chronic pancreatitis. And 2 different doses were given to them. And here, what we found, which was something surprising to us, that Amar, that medicine prepared using copper, mercury, and sulfur, it was showing the best result at 3 mg per kg body weight. If it was more, it was not useful. It was less, it was not useful. So this was the first thing. But here, what we found, that there is a compound in the world which can show pancreatitis protective properties. This is that compound which you can see here, because there is no other. And the last group is prednisolone. All the rats who were given prednisolone, they died first 14 days. The study was of 21 days. Because steroid doesn't work, so nobody can say that you use steroid, there is nothing. But steroid doesn't work in pancreatitis. So here, we established first time that Ayurvedic medicine prepared using copper, mercury, sulfur has a strong pancreatitis protective properties, but science never says that you do one study. We repeated it at the same institute, in Viprajan, in Mysore. And this time, what they said? Yes, it is working, but at 3 and 4 mg. So between 3 mg to 4 mg per kg body weight, it is a strong pancreatitis protective properties. So with these things, we can say that Amar is a safe medicine. Amar is a non-metallic compound and has a strong pancreatitis protective properties, which is visible in animal and clinical studies. Now I want to show how we make the medicine. Many people say, I keep my formula secret, but once you patent it, Swamiji knows you have to disclose everything. You have so many patents to your credit. So I was very impressed today when you were talking that you are taking patents. That means you are sharing your knowledge and experience with the coming generation. So this Amar, this is mercury. And here you see on the left side, there is a fireplace, there is a tripod and a pitcher. It resembles like a Shivlinga. The Parad is called Shiva. And here we do Urdhupatan. So today I was visiting Department of Rasa Shastra. I saw a apparatus called Damru Yantra. That is a classical thing. Ki Damru Yants can do the distillation, Urdhupatan of mercury, but it never happens. So that we designed this formula. And this mercury undergoes the grinding of all those things which are offered to Lord Shiva, Akika Pool, Dhatura, etc. So this mercury is ground several times and evaporated Urdhupatan. So this is the preparation of Parad. After that, Telam Takre, Gava Mutre, Amal Kicha Kulatke, copper ka shodhan is done like this. And after that, sulfur is titrated with ghee and triphala. This is shodhan. And when all these things are ready, copper, mercury and sulfur, they are ground together in the juice of lemon, which is soaked into the Lapha echinata and Clitoria ternatia overnight. And in that juice is ground. We are able to standardize our grinding process by incorporating particle size analyzer. We grind up to attaining the 2 micron. So that time we take it out. And after that, it is sealed in clay pots. And that is the traditional furnaces. Our masters have used different type of wood for similar thing. We use heat sensors to that. And with that we found we are getting the identical things. And the temperature goes for, this fire process goes for 120 hours. Initially, Gandak evaporates in 12 hours, but gradually, mercury and sulfur become heat resistant, and that happens. And this, in the bottom, we found this black color charcoal, which I showed what is this. And so Amar has been found as a new clinical entity in the treatment of pancreatitis. And it is an innovation from Ayurveda, though it is not described in Ayurvedic text, but our Shastras have talked about Dhatu, Dharana, Dhatva, gold, silver, copper, iron, lead, zinc, tin are essential minerals of the body, and they are present in our Ras, Rakta, Mansa, Med, Asti, Maja, Shukra. So this work what I have shown, it is work of my father, who evolved it in 1972, and I am able to take it further. And we are working in coordination with the top university in the country. And we feel, what's wrong with this? What we feel that by proving the worth of copper as a therapeutic, because we know about iron, we know about zinc, but nobody knows in the world about the copper. But if we combine our traditional knowledge, our experience in a scientific manner, so we can bag the first Nobel Prize in medicine through Ayurveda, that is my ambition for which we are working upon. What's Khatam. Anyway, recently we wrote a book on Granthi Ki Guthi, because it's a small Granthi, which was prefaced by Mr. Vaidya Rajesh Koteja ji, advisor Ayurveda, Secretary Ayush, and DG ICMR. So both stalwarts of Ayurveda and allopathy wrote the preface for this book, and this book was released by Vaidya Rajesh Koteja ji in his office. And so with these words, I would like to say thank you to all of you for listening me carefully and patiently. Thank you very much.